Actually, in September, we started hearing about Ebola. Ebola, it can kill. It's a bad virus. It's deadly. Actually, my father, like from here, his brother was very sick. My father got sick in September. He started throwing out the sound, the symptom, tell the kid thing, throwing out. And everybody get afraid. We've been stigmatized by people around the community. In the community, only my one was there. Throughout we get sick. We say it's not Ebola, it's different sickness. Actually, one school morning, September 22nd, morning, and fell down your hand and passed away. The health team come and take a body away. They still, I start getting healthy, start feeling pain in the body, skin hot. Everybody, my sister said I shouldn't come around if I don't want to go to the ETU. I was stigmatized around, and I had to take my cool walk. I went to the ETU, and they tested me. I was positive. I was showing out the sound, the symptom. It's still my sister got sick. My uncle followed me out to my mother went there. Yeah. One of me survived when I'm out there. One of her brother was sick in Freeport, got difficulty. The brother really sick. And everybody started talking, say that it's African son. We told him to not go there, right? But he went there. After his brother died, his brother passed away, he too started getting sick. Because it's my father and I can't go away from him like that. He was very sick, he was not able himself, only me were around. My mother, my father, all passed away over time. When about the grace of God, I'm saying I here with you. Because I was really sick. Scripture has been counseling me, providing food for me, financial support, and they promised me to do more. And I'm waiting by the grace of God to do it. They promised to send me to school and all. Now, I can't help my sister to the house here, shedding water, providing by. Ready to talk about it and go in the media and tell the people out there to see well about us here. Because actually we are suffering. Since my mother and my father passed away, I am doing anything. We were living happily together in the community here. They were doing things for us in the school. But since then, nothing doing, and school is about to open. And scripture promised me that they send me to school. They really been doing good. They really been doing good for us. Yes. I love school. I'm a 10th student, Cloudtown AG. I love English. So just tell it, actually I want to become a medical doctor to help my family because we're not here now. I didn't help to pay my school fees and bags on uniforms, clothes, shoes, book. I'm not having the support to do all that, and scripture promised me that, and I sure they will do it by the grace of God. Because I've been doing more, I've been seeing it. They can sit in and they do it. Sometimes I'm sitting in the room, I cry when I think about the past. How we're living together, and I will never see them again. I've been sorry to my mind. So now I go to sleep, I sleep.
Get away from that sadness.
So now I go to sleep, I sleep. I tell the scratch my mind, sometimes I cry.
Annie, 30. I was here for Josh. He was with Papi. Tiny horse. For me, I was here a lot of time. I was praying. During the Ebola crisis, I was praying. So he came to me. He said the Papi was sick. I said, oh, but what happened to the Papi? He said, I said, I don't know. I decided to go check on the Papi. When I went, I decided to ask him. I said, but what happened to you? He said, oh, I found to my brother play. My brother was sick. I went there, but the man was on a critical condition. They just called me, and when I sleep there, the man passed away. I had decided to come back, but I'm not feeling fine in my body because he didn't want to take care of the man for the 2 days he was there. He was the one who was taking care of the man. So when he came back, he said he was not feeling fine. So the next day, I decided to check on him. I said, well, Papa, you're not going to work. He said, no, I'm not feeling fine. I said, well, when the meeting happening to you, he said, my body hurting, I feeling cold. So I tell George, I said, don't go nowhere again. You have to take care of the Papa because he will not able to get our strength when he wants something. You got to be around him to give it to him because he's seeing my condition. I was with the Papa. 2-3 days, sickness started getting worse. He ran to me, he said, oh, the papi vomiting, thing with blood. I said, I hold on, the sickness, what they put talking about. I begin to tell him, I say, for me, I woman, for you, you man. So be with him, but being with him, you gotta take precaution. I found a ball glove, I give it to him. I bought the rain boots. I say give it for him to be using it. Within that 3 times, in 2 days later, he couldn't stand it again. Sickness was worse. Sickness was worse. I decided to call the amulet. Call the amulet for the whole day. Amulet never came. We were doing it on a Saturday. Sunday now, papi passed away. He came here to me with crying. I went, when I saw the papi, the condition, and myself, for the symptom I saw, I was not satisfied. So I got afraid. I didn't go outside him again. I had sent your child. I said, you be the caretaker for him. I had church was taking care. And that whole day, he never make it, he passed away. When he passed away, I tell you, I said, go in the camp, because the papi already showed all the symptoms and the sickness on him. And you were taking care of him because my condition, I was not around him. For anything to not happen to you, I would like for you to go in the camp. That's how he went in the camp. When he went in the camp, I got afraid. I not even used to answer my telephone call because my uncle got sick. The lady girl that was with me got sick. So in my condition, because at that time I was pregnant, my God was so big. They crying. Every family, my pressure will go up. So I laid my phone aside. I decided to send one of my friends there. When the friend went and see his condition, he said his condition was too critical. That was just by God's mercy. He was able to survive. Since him being the people can come to us, counsel us, talk to us, provide food. Just like that. I would love for him to go back to school, for him to be able to help me, because now nobody to help, no guarantee formally. Only he and myself can do 1 or 2 things together. From me to him, from him to me. So I would love for him to go to school, because if he go to school, it will be my own survival, my own corners too. Street child have been doing very well. Been coming to all, counseling all. They've been doing well. Providing food. All around. We need money, because now nobody to help me. Only my one taking care of him. So I need money. He need to go good school, because if I not send him good school, he will not pick up. But if I have money to send him good school, if he know that I'm spending good money to send him good school, he will let to focus. I was able to avoid the virus because I was not there. He was taking care of the papi. For me, I was only here because of my condition. I was pregnant last time. My God was big. So I decided not to go closer to him. I delivered JFK. I was scared because the hospital said fearful. Everybody scared of each other because of the Ebola. Doctor afraid of patient, patient afraid of doctor. Because through the doctor, you get in contact with the Ebola, and through the patient, doctor too will get in contact with the Ebola. So the hospital very, very fearful. That's just by God's mercy. I miss my family too bad. I was crying sometimes. Even when George was giving speech, I begin to shed tears. Because nobody to, talk to us. All our family around, but there's no help. They feel will be big. Through the water, you're surviving.
My name is Michael John Bull. I'm the Program Director, Street Child of Liberia. It's extremely very important that schools are reopened because the children, being the future of this very country, have been out of school for over 5 months and they are growing. So we need to get them back to school and prepare our future generation. If they are not in school, they must be engaged in something else. And whatever they are engaged in is not benefiting or profiting them and not profiting our generation. So they need to be in school right now. So reopening of schools, we get the kids prepared. As you can see, most of them are growing beyond the levels where they used to be when schools were closed as a result of Ebola. So it's important that no matter the challenges, you know, entail with it, but we need to ensure that schools reopen, the future generation are sent back to school, and we prepare them for that. Otherwise, then we are heading for a disaster in our future. And of course, we all know that education is one step above poverty. Any nation that is bound to go beyond the level of poverty must uphold the values of education. So it's important that Liberia, no matter the challenges, they are now prepared to ensure they reopen the school. So it's important. The Ebola survivor happened to be my core interest in this, because these children have lost their primary caregivers. These caregivers have been struggling for these families and they are no more. Now, most of these children that we have been engaged with are now skeptical as to whether they will be in school, in fact, because their primary caregivers are no more. So it's important, especially that Street Child is working assiduously hard to raise funds and get the children to school, because most of the ones that we have already started supporting have enrolled or have secure places for them in schools. They are now smiling because they have hope that even though they lost their primary caregivers, but yet there is an institution or there are people that cares about them, yet they are ready to send them to school. So the Ebola affected children that are so many, like in Street Child, we have enrolled, we have on our database over 2,000 of these. So it's important that these children that constitute almost the largest in every community are sent to school. I can tell you that most of the communities we are working into, when you subtract the number of Ebola affected children from those that are not affected, their number or their population outweighs the other. So it's important that we concentrate and support them in school, because that number is important. Otherwise, they are also going to be street connected. And we all know what it is for a child to end up on the street. There are good homes, but there are no good streets. And when they're on the street, they inculcate negative habits. And we all know what is happening right now in our streets. We have criminal activities. Everywhere you go now, you see criminal activities everywhere. This is as a result of children who dropped out of school, out of the homes, into the street, and nobody paid attention, and they became chronic or hardcore criminals. So it is important that these very Ebola affected children are handled right now. Send them to school, show them all the care they deserve, because they don't need to end up on the street. Otherwise, they are going to be street connected children and criminals in the future.